My name is Moon Petrie. I'm trying to do an actual vlog with updates throughout instead of just a sort of update after a few days. Yesterday was the 28th and I didn't revise at all. Excuses, blah, blah, blah. I have a lot of homeschool paperwork I need to get done. I worked on that instead during my usual window, quiet time, nap time, and then the evening, I may have mentioned my husband and I have been watching Umbrella Academy, so we watched an episode of that, and I was thinking after that, like, okay, this is my chance, kind of late, I'm pretty tired. Maybe I'll just start back at the beginning and just read through and catch what I catch. I wasn't feeling like I do a great job, and then couldn't help myself. I read instead. So if you have not heard me rave about TJ Klune, if you have not read any TJ Klune, read some now. Any TJ Klune will do. The Extraordinaries is my favorite. I thought that The House in the Cerulean Sea was going to be the best book of the year. Last year, it was the best thing I'd read in years. And then I read The Extraordinaries. This is the third book in the Extraordinaries series. So The House in the Cerulean Sea is adult. This is YA. And it's just like, if you ever wished a snarky protagonist like Percy Jackson or Magnus Chase was like gay and had just stream of consciousness, like absolute irrepressible personality. Nick Bell is just, I wish I could hug him. He's the best protagonist ever. And the books are so incredibly satisfying. Like every time I was like, oh, I have this backstory question. I'm sure it won't come up. It just felt like TJ Klune was reading my mind as I was reading his books and just dishing up everything I wanted. So anyway, I got started on Heatwave. I finally convinced my teenager to start reading The Extraordinaries. And by convinced, I mean, I pushed really hard. But it's so worth it. So anyway, I read the first few chapters of that and I did not revise. Now, today is the 29th, and my parents took my three younger kids. Teenager, of course, is invisible upstairs and probably playing video games rather than working on the coursework for their summer course or reading more book or applying for a job or anything like that. Why do that stuff? Anyway, I got to get a bunch of the homeschool paperwork stuff done just now with my parents out with the kids, so I will be able to revise during quiet time without feeling like I am neglecting some very important duties. I've been continuing to work on it. I've not been feeling like I'm getting a ton done. On the 29th, honestly, at the time when I was supposed to be focusing on it, my cat is just, he's fine. He's just really old. He was having a really hard time moving around. I was really sad and it was hard to focus, and he's 17. Rather than making a lot of manuscript progress, I started doing some research because it was easier to focus on. I have some characters, one in particular that I really wanted to have using a wordplay or trickery, and I was researching contronyms, which are words that have two definitions that are contradictory. So cleave can mean to cling to or to separate from. Garnish can mean to add something, or in terms of like garnishing your wages, to take something away. Weather can mean to withstand or to be worn away in the face of something. So I have been thinking about how to incorporate some of those. I have not actually done anything to the manuscript with them. On the 30th, I put a ton of time and energy into this homeschooling paperwork that needed to be done. I just used up all of my mental energy for it, and so I ended up pretty exhausted and just working on a read through from the beginning, which is something that I had considered as a possible next step, and that is what I decided I was gonna have to do. So I am just cleaning some things up here and there, and also putting in brackets again where I find places that I want to use better descriptions or more interesting figurative language that I just don't have a solution to. In the moment, I did make some things actually better in that way, but where I just don't have a great idea for it, I am marking it for future moons. So now it is the 31st, and here I am. To her.
You'll be famous for scratching your butt in public. Yay!
I should get back to it, and then I should have a celebration, even though I didn't win. I do not need a total map failure today. I should wear the snorkel on my thumb, you think? You're a giggle butt. Something interesting happened when we were playing Mad Libs a little while back. My teenager pointed out to my younger kids how the K sound is funny. That some words are just inherently funnier sounding than others. And to illustrate this point, my teenager said, "Pickle cupcake." And my kids said, "Pickle cupcake?" And I said, "I'm sure I can find a recipe for that." So I did. The pickle cupcake recipe has sour cream in it, and pickle juice, and diced pickle. These are dill. They're really nice Clausen kosher dill, very crispy pickles. And I was delighted to see that one of the cupcakes had a very obvious chunk of pickle right on the top when I baked them. The house smelled amazing and strange of sugar and pickle, and the frosting was cream cheese with pickle juice in it, and I added a little bit of yellow-green food coloring just to make it a sort of off-putting, sickly color, garnished with pickles, and fed them to my family.
All right.
Oh, the crunch! The crunch noise! So juicy!
I mean, I don't know what you expect. It's a cupcake and it tastes like pickle.
Take a bite. What do you think? Take a bite of the cupcake.
Oh, crunchy.
You like it?
Oh, crunchy
Yum.
cupcake.
What do you think?
Yummy.
It's yummy?
For a pickle flavor.
For a pickle flavored cupcake, it's yummy. And you? You still like it? Yeah.
Good.
Unfortunately, you don't like it? And this is my reward for failing camp. So maybe it's a punishment, we'll see. I made my whole family taste it before I was willing to. Mixed reactions. I totally love it. It's sour, like a lemon cupcake. And a little salty, and I like things salty when they're sweet. Oh, I think it's great. I'll get the piece with the pickle. Top notch. Yep, I would totally make these again. Except that I'm not 100% sure I could get very many people to eat them with me. Until next time, I am Moon Petrie, and whether you won or lost, don't forget to reward yourself.